sides unquestionably in Serie A right now, both scoring goals, and Milan, of course, buoyed by that extraordinary display against Juventus when all seemed lost, and they came back to win it convincingly. All smiles. There is Jack Bonaventura, who may yet play his part. Adam Virgo is alongside me. I know, very much looking forward to this, and it's always hard to pick, Adam, between two in-form sides. There's not much between these two.
No, it's not at all, Dave, and in terms of the way that Milan have come back since this break, they've been absolutely superb in terms of the form, and Pioli's certainly got a style of play now that these players are now playing in the right direction. And I said second half against Juventus was a mad one, but that really shows the confidence that they are showing. And Napoli, again, going forward, do score plenty of goals, do concede the odd goal as well, but in terms of that firepower that they've got going forward, in terms of the movement, the speed that they have, I think they can certainly cause Milan a problem. This is such a tough one to call.
Well, our referee is Federico La Pena from Rome, turns 37 next month. This is 17th Serie A game. This campaign, 5 red cards already shown by him. Much more experienced figure of Gianluca Rocchi is in charge of the video reviews tonight. Well, after that wonderful interlude, the Ennio Morricone music being played, it was quite glorious and ghostly, wasn't it, around the stadium, created this beautiful atmosphere. I know a lot of people spoke to me in the week and said they wish they could do that every time, but I guess it wouldn't feel quite as special, would it? And these surroundings certainly add a lot to it. Diego Laxhout in the back of the picture there, called back from his loan now to be part of the squad again. All we wait for now is the players to make their way out. Adam, momentum is a word that people like me always use a lot in football, but how important really is it with your playing experience for both of these sides, really?
Yeah, certainly absolutely crucial in terms of, I've been so impressed into Milan since they've come back from this coronavirus break and started the season, and as I say, wasn't really too good, but then all of a sudden now have found their form. There's a style of play that Stefan Pioli is certainly looking at, and say Rebic is another player that's sort of been in and out, and then all of a sudden he comes forward and scores really, really important goals. But momentum at this stage of the season is so important. How you play is one thing, but then confidence provides those little bits of luck sometimes that you need in a game. And Milan, as I mentioned, second half, the last half an hour against Juventus was really, really good. They capitalised on poor mistakes and certainly took advantage of that.
There is the main man. He'd like to think he's the main man in every game, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. At 38 years of age, he was talking rather entertainingly this week, remembering his time at Milan in his other incarnation there, playing with Gennaro Gattuso. Two of them had a love-hate relationship, but largely love, I'd say. And he also recounted that brilliant story that's always worth retelling, of the time when they had an argument and Ibrahimovic put Gattuso headfirst into a bin and left him there, legs wiggling and doubtless cursing. But they smile and they're very fond of each other. Gattuso says, now I look like his granddad, he looks so good. The line I like from Ibrahimovic about Gattuso was, he's not Messi, but he certainly fires you up. And that's a fair comment about the Napoli coach. There's Dries Mertens back on target in the week. Callejon back in the side just behind him. Mertens has been trying to convince Callejon to stay at the club, but apparently the rumour would have it without a great deal of success, and Callejon will be on his way. Fired up and aiming for fifth. There's a nice moment between two coaches who know each other well. What a run Gattuso is having with Napoli. There is Federico La Pena, Just to emphasize, this is Gattuso's first game as a coach against Milan, the club for whom he made 468 appearances and coached in 82 games, won just under half of those. Here's the Napoli side, then Koulibaly back as one of 4 changes. Di Lorenzo comes into the side, as well as Callejon and Zielinski. Lobotka keeps his place in the centre of that midfield. And just one change from a Milan perspective. Çalhanoğlu coming in for Salamakers. Paquetá keeps his place. Rebic is in great form. And of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic leads the line. So the silence descends at this point. This great, normally atmospheric, cavernous stadium. And the voices will echo around it. So Federico Lapena gets us underway. There's an early touch there for Fabian. Tempo will be important. They both like to play at a tempo. Certainly Milan do when they're playing with confidence. Both on a winning streak. Napoli have won 4 of 5 since the return. The one slip-up, an understandable one against Atalanta. Milan just stumbling, rather surprisingly, against Spal in that 2-2 draw in which they were faintly shambolic, but what a week they've had with a win at Lazio and then Juve. Ibrahimovic said this week that it's not the Milan that I remember. Their targets are different, and I think that wins against Lazio and Juve, and if they could do it again tonight, just remind Milan fans what the targets used to be. This is a great club that is currently battling for 5th when maybe it should be aiming for 1st.
Certainly the inconsistency they have shown recently in terms of the season, not qualifying for Europe, but I mean this will be a massive win for Milan if they can get 3 points to go above Napoli and just continue that momentum since they've come back.
Okay. A word as well about Pioli. This is a man who has conducted himself with such class. Of course, he has football and life in a great context after what happened with Davide Astori at Fiorentina, but he's been put under unreasonable pressure really in the latter part of this season. It's a pretty badly kept secret that Ralf Rangnick, it would seem, is arriving at Milan. Not 100% signed, sealed and delivered yet, but that is the strong talk, and Pioli has to deal with that. He's got the team playing brilliantly and is probably going to be leaving. But he has dealt with it stupendously well. And the form of the team will get him another job pretty quickly as well, I would have thought. 2 class acts on the touchline tonight in different ways. Now Theo Hernandez. There's Romagnoli, only outfield player to have played every single minute of the season in Serie A. Here's Kessie. Playing like a team who are full of confidence at the moment here, Milan, but it's given away. Here's Lobotka. Now Di Lorenzo. Since the restart, Napoli have had more average possession than any side in Serie A. We're already seeing that stamp on the game here in the early stages. Insigne. Now Dries Mertens looking for that ball in behind. Donnarumma out to claim. Callejon, the inevitable target. Now Hernandez. Well, time for us to take a breath, Adam.
So it's been a decent start from Napoli. By the way, the Mertens is just dropping deep into that hole, just behind Benacer, just to try and get on that half turn and then try and run at the Milan defence. It was so important that the midfield defence have that decent gap between them. So he does pick up some really good pockets of space. Milan, against Lecce and Spal, they actually pressed the ball quite well. Against Roma, they actually dropped off and allowed the team to have the opposite, the ball in their own half.
Zielinski trying to muscle his way through. He thought he might have got a push in the back. Koulibaly. Now Fabian for Insigne. In towards Callejon. It's the ball they always look for, the diagonal for Callejon to run onto. Çalhanoğlu. Another real resurgence in form, being written off in the early part of the season. Now Kier. Slightly overhit, but good positive play again from Milan.
This was just a decent run down the line there. Well defended in the end from the holding midfielder Benacer. It's important that Milan just watch the run short and the runs in behind as well.
Fabian. Gonna run around Kessie. And then Insigne with a hit. Might yet fall for Di Lorenzo. Flag was up against the fullback.
Insigne scored a magnificent goal against Roma. A little bit more to the left-hand side and bent that into the top corner, so confidence will certainly be high for the captain.
Yeah, I felt for him when he scored that goal. As you say, glorious goal. You know, normally in the Derby del Sud, in front of his people, Neapolitan and Insigne. I think he almost forgot for a moment there were no fans in. He turned, this moment of real glory, and then almost had a shrug to himself. Still meant a lot. It was still 3 points, but wasn't maybe the glorious moment it could have been. He'll have to do it again when there are fans back. Now Romagnoli. Here's Theo Hernandez. Strong running from Rebic. And he had to chest it behind Mario Ruiz, looking at Ospina and saying, "What did you expect me to do?"
Better be safe than sorry from the defender there. Rebic is a player that plays centrally the most of the time, but with Ibrahimovic, he makes that position on the left-hand side. And what he will do, he'll just run short, he'll run in behind and try and stretch play.
Ospina returning to the side after his injury. Meret, as he always does, just looked a little bit shaky. Romagnoli was the target and wasn't far away. Now Kessie. There's Conti. Little look up there from Paquetá, looking for Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
He does that well, Ibrahimovic. Now, at the latter stages of his career, he tends to put on fullbacks more often when the ball's on the diagonal, rather trying to take that central position.
One thing that is much underestimated about him is his physical power. For all the flair and the flamboyance, he is huge, big and strong. Really tries to dominate his centre half. Here's Di Lorenzo.
Cielo, guarda Fabiano. Cielo, guarda Fabiano.
Fabian. Here's Insigne. Licensed to roam in the early stages here, Lorenzo Insigne. Coming together there of Di Lorenzo and Hernandez. He's given a free kick against Di Lorenzo and a card as well.
I certainly think it was a 50-50 challenge for Di Lorenzo and Hernandez to go for. I think that's harsh. I think both players have the right to go for that ball there. Maybe without the crowd now in the stadium, that the yelp from players may get players into the book a little bit more often than not.
Just strikes you as nonsensical. I know the referee only gets one look at it, but they both slid in similar fashion. Okay to maybe give a free kick one or other way, but a yellow card seems harsh.
I thought that was slightly harsh there. There's Ibrahimovic just trying to put on the angle. And he does when players get the ball from deep.
Kessie. And ball against Theo Hernandez. Fabian, Napoli took it quickly, looked to get on with it. Insigne. Here's Lobotka. Useful touch there from Ibrahimovic. Here's Lobotka. Now Fabian. Di Lorenzo, nicely worked here from Napoli. Ante Rebic. Now Insigne. Foul by Çalhanoğlu.
He certainly feels there's not too much in there, but I really like the rotation of the front three of Napoli at the moment. The way that they're coming off the line is such a difficult movement to mark as a defender and a holding midfielder. If the ball's played forward early, that's where it causes most problems. If teams go from side to side and you make those movements and you don't pass the ball forward early, that's easier to mark. When you get that ball into those areas and they can get on the half turn, that's when Napoli looks so strong.
Well, Zlatan's trying to cause trouble in the wall. Only got his way, and he's one of a two-man wall. I thought Insigne was thinking about a shot for a moment, but the short run-up would suggest no. It's ambitiously worked. They were trying to get Koulibaly free. They might have to go back to the drawing board with that one. Here's Lobotka. Napoli start again with Maksimovic. Maksimovic, who is on the brink of agreeing a new contract to the club, so too is Zielinski. Now Insigne. Long here for Dries Mertens. Chance to cut inside. He's still going here, Mertens. It's a useful save by Donnarumma. Back in from Kaya Hahn, behind from Kier.
all starts from the run of Insigne, just dropping short and then trying to spread play down to that left-hand side. Mertens picks up that good position. Conti has to do better with that. It's not good defending. But I have to say, it's a great hand there from Donnarumma. Goes through the legs of Kier, and goalkeeper just takes that away.
Played short for Insigne there. In imaginative mood, if not particularly effective mood, but you've got to like the quick thinking at the set pieces. Callejon. Now Zielinski gives them such a sense of purpose from that midfield. Now Paquetá. A tug on the shirt. The referee is being fairly liberal tonight. It's good. It allows the game to flow. Now Hernandez. Here's Frank Kessie. Çalhanoğlu. See the way Gattuso stands right on the edge of his technical area there, just menacingly. Same body language he had as a player. It's beautifully worked. Paquetá had Rebic to his right and didn't see him. Now Insigne end-to-end at the moment. Here's Mertens with Fabian in support. Just the two of them. Couldn't quite make it work, but deflected behind for a corner.
Paquetá got that ball in that midfield area. Conti had made a brilliant run down that right-hand side. If he just opened his body out, he'd have been in acres of space. And that's why the counter-attack could have happened there, because Conti was out of position down that right-hand side. That was a strong hand again there.
Trying to add to the 11 clean sheets he's kept this season. Gigio Donnarumma, the most in Serie A. Insigne takes over at the corner now. In towards Koulibaly, away by Hernandez. Now he's in range, Insigne trying to open up his body for the second week in a row. And Donnarumma flicks it onto the post. It was awkward for him.
It was another great save, and it's one of these ones that are awkward because it just kind of bobbles towards you, maybe with a little bit less pace on it. But it's the bodies that go through. The Mason Mertens was just in an offside position. He certainly wasn't to know that, though. Still got a decent hand on it just to tip it onto the post, but certainly was offside there. But Napoli is certainly coming into their flow now, creating the better chances.
Dries Mertens, their record goal scorer, looks lively so far tonight. Looks like he's in the mood. Figure is 124 in 316. Setting that new mark. Hamšík had broken Maradona's, and Mertens outstrips them both. Here's Maksimovic. If you're wondering, by the way, I think the reason he keeps his place with Koulibaly's return is that Manolas is still just struggling to get back to full physical fitness. With these games coming in quick succession, Gattuso has clearly thought, I'm going to be using my squad. I think that's why Lobotka keeps his place as well. Here's Callejon. Now Dries Mertens. Plenty of time here for Mario Rui. Great touch from Mertens. Brilliantly done for Callejon. And Napoli should be in front.
We just aren't seem to getting close to the ball, and Mertens is causing all sorts of problems within that final third, and Callejon just doesn't quite connect with the ball well enough there. Certainly that should have been a goal.
Here's Ibrahimovic. It's been a good start, this from Napoli, who are starting to take control. Now Kier. Kessie. That's better from Çalhanoğlu. Rebic with the turn to pick the pass for Hernandez, who thrashes Milan in front.
Well, it's an excellent finish from the fullback, who started this season on really good goal-scoring form. Well, it's an excellent finish there, and Rebic just links up play brilliantly. Certainly against the runner play, that goal. Those are the awkward ones there. You've got a little bit of time to think about it, but he strikes it brilliantly, strikes it down into the ground and makes it so hard to save.
De Laurentiis watches on and is unimpressed by what he sees. The Napoli president. Goal number 6 of the season for Theo Hernandez, first since the 19th of January. As Adam said, he started the season in great goal-scoring form. He's refound it. And that was some finish for a striker, let alone a fullback. Pioli's been saying this week that Hernandez is so good going forward. If he works on his defensive play, he could be one of the very best in the world. And we saw all the good things there in the final third, what he can do. As Adam said, against the run of play, now it's Napoli who need to respond. And from Callejon. So far, 2 teams in Serie A, Udinese and Napoli, have failed to pick up a single point from trailing situations at home. So it would be a first. Incredible statistic for a club of Napoli's magnitude. Here's Mario Rui. Now Fabian. He should have had the lead through Callejon as well. Here he is again. It's well cleared up by Hernandez. Here's Callejon. Koulibaly for Insigne. Now Lobotka. Nice turn here from Piotr Zielinski. Oh, it wasn't far away.
I think for Donnarumma in goal, I think this is the one that he'd certainly be most fearful of, because it was the power of the shot there from Zielinski from distance. Just went past the post there. That's been a good reaction, though, from Napoli. And you mentioned about momentum at the start of this show when they were coming out, and it's so important that sometimes you just find a way of scoring, you find a way of winning, and that just comes with confidence when you're picking up 3 points week in, week out, that Milan have started to do.
Come back to that Zielinski shot. It's the second or third time that the Napoli players had a sort of run at the Milan goal from the edge of the area, not really been closed down. Would that concern you as a former defender?
I think so, yeah. You're talking about the movement when they drop short and when they move the ball quickly. I mentioned about the gaps between Benacer and Kessie, and the back four of Milan has to be right. And when that distance is not right, then you'll get shots from distance. In these areas here, this is where, as a back four in the midfield, you have to be right as a group.
Insigne. Zielinski. He wanted too much time. Insigne. Here's Hernandez, the goal scorer. Kier. The way that Pioli has managed to gradually get a tune out of this Milan side has been most impressive. And in many ways the lockdown helped them, gave him more time to think. He's an exceptional coach. Paquetá. Feels at the moment like every bounce of the ball's going Milan's way.
And just the way it is at the moment. I mentioned Pioli today in terms of his quality of management. That was evidential against Juventus, making that substitution at half-time with Gianlu coming on for Paquetá, and that just changed the game. And his substitutes in the second half have been excellent. They managed to get themselves back into that game, and they haven't been great in these first 25 minutes, but they've stayed in the game, and Donnarumma's made some important saves that have kept them going, and they've taken their goal very, very well. Now this little break, which is supposed to be a drinks break, now ends up being a tactical break, doesn't it?
I was about to say the same thing. The other thing that, without wanting to get on Hoppy Horse too much, we just see the goal again, that little turn from Rebic and the pick for Hernandez. But the other thing about these cooling breaks is that they are meant to be time regulated, but my goodness me, the players take a long time to get through them. Saunter over and then have a slow drink of water and make their way back out. There's the frustration from a Napoli perspective. Great moment there for Milan. There's the man who's got the goal.
To be honest, I don't think really too much to change from Napoli's perspective, because they've actually played very, very well, and they've actually produced more saves from Donnarumma than what Milan have produced from Ospina in their goal. So the tactics haven't changed. It's just a little bit of lack of concentration within that final third that Milan have taken their goal well.
As you say, the coaching break is over. You can see they both got messages across as well. It's useful for these coaches. Pioli's side just in front. Conti will get us back underway. Isn't it great to see him playing regularly after all those injury issues? And what an addition he was always going to be for Milan, but finally we're seeing it. Romagnoli. Now Ibrahimovic. A rare poor touch from him.
His touches in that final third, that ball that's gone into his feet a few times now, that just gone a little bit wayward.
Here's Maksimovic. Now Di Lorenzo. Lovely touch there from Callejon. Nicely worked again for Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Can he pick out a man in the centre? Falls to Mario Rui and deflected through to Donnarumma. Ibrahimovic. It's funny when he's up against Mario Rui. Such a mismatch. The wide-ranging interview he gave this week, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he proved that one thing remains consistent, which is his ability to talk about himself in the third person. I'm sure even Zlatan thought that was a yellow card. Mario Rui goes into the book.
Yeah, no complaints there, late challenge going in. We're talking about interviews with Ibrahimovic, his last one for MLS when he left the Galaxy. And he's come, he's conquered, and they can go back to now watching baseball.
Definitely makes footballing life more interesting, always has done. Callejon just caught there, winded, I think.
Just a few deep breaths with that one.
Kessie. Teo Hernandez with the goal. And has Milan in front at the San Paolo. Hernandez on the move again, and Rebic trying to find him again.
Better run there from Rebic, that when Ibrahimovic dropped short, that he actually ran in behind. There's a couple of occasions when Swedes just come short and the attacking players not got close enough to him. That's where they could maybe just creep up into that final third just a little bit more than what they have been doing.
Here's Fabian. We've already seen that one gloriously slick Napoli move that should have led to a goal for Callejon. Started like they're in the mood, but they've had a setback here. What a good addition. Simon Kjaer has been on loan from Sevilla, having been on loan at Atalanta.
It's important that Milan just keep their patience, because so you would say Napoli have still been playing the better football and creating the better chances still.
There's Maksimovic and now Koulibaly. Lobotka. Just need to keep their cool here, Napoli. They're normally pretty good at doing that, but giving away to Benacer, who in turn gives it to Koulibaly. Decides to go on a charge and wins his side a free kick. Cynical challenge by Conti.
Well, I think he's trying to say not a lot he could do to get out of the way of that, but still a foul. Good positivity there from the centre half going forward. Those long busting runs that he certainly does, bringing the ball out from the back.
So Insigne and Mario Rui, the two options here, as they pretty much always are. From Insigne, looking for a touch, which arrives from Di Lorenzo. Fullbacks exchanging goals. Hernandez for Milan, and the response for Napoli from Giovanni Di Lorenzo.
Well, it's certainly a simple goal for Di Lorenzo, but I have to say the quality of the cross has come in from Insigne. It was absolutely brilliant. The pace, the trajectory, the height of it was perfect. I don't think there's too much Donnarumma could have done about that. It's just one of those reaction ones where he will certainly see it late, and he may say he could have parried it away from goal, but the pace of the cross was so good. Certainly for the goalkeeper in terms of the way that it came in, and the fullback gets himself a goal. I said Napoli just have to stay in the game. Things will happen for them, and they've done that.
Third of the season for Di Lorenzo. So far it's a night for goal-scoring defenders. So I've got the right man sitting alongside me. Koulibaly. Wind in their sails at the moment. Mertens trying his luck there. Half an appeal for a penalty. Felt important that Napoli equalised quickly, relatively quickly, before half-time at least.
A good reaction from conceding the goal, and I have to say they have been the better side so far in this game, and keeping to the same principles that things will be created for them.
Now Hernandez. Pierre. There's Benacer. Missed it there from Kessie. Quite sure what happened there.
Quite like that dominance as he's had in recent weeks, Kessie in that midfield area, alongside Benacer in terms of that partnership that they've built.
Here's Callejon. Now Di Lorenzo. Fabian with the ball in. Blocked behind for a corner.
Well, we certainly feel the momentum is with the home side. Still that pass and move, good midfield run there from Fabian, just to try and create something. I haven't really seen that with the Milan midfielders, trying to get behind Ibrahimovic in those central areas.
Well, they've got Maksimovic, Koulibaly up from the back. Fabian is an aerial threat too. Mario Rui has great quality, but it's going to be Callejon to whip it in deep. Mertens with the header. Insigne did really well to find the space, and then a miss hit from Mertens. Poor touch from Paquetá. Now Insigne. From Fabian, and Kier took a gamble and read it well. Turn that was well read by Ospina.
That was the run I was talking about from Rebic, the one that when Ibrahimovic drops short, you need to run in behind him to try and create that through ball. Easy to defend against when Ibrahimovic drops short, and your Paquetá and Rebic just don't make those runs in behind him. I'd say the closing down for Napoli off the ball's been excellent as well. Their work rate when they don't have it, certainly something to be admired.
Here's Mertens. And Nikola Maksimovic. Movement here from Lorenzo Insigne. Here's Callejon. People back there defending is Ante Rebic. The referee said Maksimovic got the ball. Ibrahimovic not too happy with that. Mertens now for Mario Rui on the overlap. He's got time to pick his spot here. And the night of the fullbacks nearly continued. Insigne. And he's offside, and that was a preventable one.
That's a strong challenge there. Maksimovic on Ibrahimovic on the halfway line, a fair one, a strong one. Everything was right about that passage of play just until that final cross there. Mario Rui should have been better with that. Maybe the cutback or the one that fizzed across the 6-yard box. Decided to go for the shot instead. So I think he'll be pleased with this side. Despite the scoreline, there's still a lot more positives to reflect on. And when you're creating chances still, you always feel that you'll create more. Just think the movement of Napoli in that final third, and I think that Milan have just dropped deep and they're moving the ball forward early. Very, very difficult to mark against.
Here's Mario Rui. Again, dropping short is Insigne. Now Fabian. Lining this up, Fabian, and he was trying to go for the low skimmer there, but Donnarumma had it covered anyway.
It's just that movement from Insigne, dropping deep, and then Milan are just dropping deeper and deeper and deeper now. Have to make better decision making. Certainly the shot opened up there maybe. Didn't quite get the connection and the quality to test Donnarumma, which they have done on a number of occasions now in this first half.
Vieni dentro, seconda, dritt.
Callejon. Here's Insigne. Callejon has kept his run going and nearly got there, and it falls kindly. But the whistle has gone, and Zielinski, it wouldn't have counted even if he had picked out the top corner. Tell you what, it is another good save from Donnarumma, even though it didn't matter.
It's another great save. Can't really see that being too much of a foul, but I will say what a fantastic reaction save there from Donnarumma again.
That was a worldy save from Donnarumma, and we will never see it again, unfortunately. He won't make the saves of the season. He just gets better and better, doesn't he? 21 years of age. Run back by Insigne. Great feet there from Fabian. It's been really watchable this so far at the San Paolo. They've certainly felt like the old Napoli in recent weeks. The Sarri Napoli, dare I say. Very easy on the eye. Really clicked under Gattuso now. Gattuso does say and admit that he takes a lot of tactical ideas from Sarri. He's a big fan, and it's no great surprise that the team would look a little bit like Sarri's. Here's Kessie. Now Di Lorenzo.
It's the equaliser that got Napoli back into the game. I'd say Insigne's ball was hit with such quality. I think Donnarumma was expecting one of his defenders just to get something on it. That didn't quite happen there, but it's certainly a goal they deserved. I can't say that the scoreline doesn't reflect how well Napoli have played in this first half.
Insigne would like to forget about that one. Kessie for Ibrahimovic, does well to win it for Conti. Now Çalhanoğlu. Couple of minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. Napoli are in the mood right now. Here's Lobotka. Insigne. Kenkier taking up the right position there. Now Hernandez. Callahan just pulling him back. That'll mean a yellow card in a moment. Here's Ibrahimovic. Went for the Hollywood pass and miscued it. In fact, he's not going to go back and book Callahan.
Certainly good advantage there from the referee. Certainly worth a booking, maybe. Certainly deliberate to try and stop Hernandez going forward. It's poor there from Ibrahimovic. It's not been one of his better halves so far, but so we mentioned the form of Milan since coming back from this knockdown, but the away form and the performance against Spal and the performance against Lecce away from home. Lecce was a very, very good performance. Spal was a very poor performance, so you can sometimes just show that little bit of inconsistency away. They were slow against Lazio, but then second half again came back strongly. But Napoli, I must say, again have been excellent in this first half. But just need that half time now, I think, for Milan to try and regroup and go again.
Here's Rebic. Conti comes buccaneering forward and just didn't quite get there. It's all or nothing with Conti. Here's Mertens' final attack of this first half, and it opens up, and caught it completely wrong there, Dries Mertens. Well, what a great entertainment that was for a half. There is the half-time whistle. Hernandez giving Milan the lead 20 minutes in. The Milan left back and then the Napoli right back, Di Lorenzo, responding 10 minutes before half-time. If anyone deserved to be in front, it would be the home side, Napoli, who've been excellent. But Milan showing all that dogged fighting spirit. And half-time at the San Paolo, it's Napoli 1, Milan 1. There is going to be some sort of tactical change here being communicated. Have to wait and see what Pioli decides to do, but it's good positive coaching this, Adam, to make the change straight away.
Well, he did at half-time against Juventus in terms of Paquetá coming off Çalhanoğlu, and he's not afraid to change things early on if he feels that balance in that midfield area, which hasn't been right in that first half. They need to try and get more bodies to try and stop those players dropping deep and picking up good positions.
It's going to be Alexis Salamakers to come on, the 21-year-old Belgian who only recently arrived from Anderlecht, and in fact they've activated the purchase option on him. He'll bring some real energy in this second half, still adapting to life in Milan. I mentioned at the start that he was saying how helpful Hakan Çalhanoğlu had been, showing him around the city and making him feel at home. He's on for Paquetá, who looked a little bit weary in that first half. So, Signore La Pena prepares to get us back underway. Pioli has made his first change. And Napoli making their way out. Will Gattuso be happy, do you think, with the performance so far, Adam? And slightly unfortunate not to be in front, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those first halves that you look at and you feel the amount of chances that you created and the saves that Donnarumma has had to make to keep the ball out. And they're kind of match-winning saves, I call them, not routine saves that you maybe would expect from a goalkeeper. They switched off defensively from that run from Rebic that set up the goal for Hernandez. But he'll know his forward line will create chances in that second half, providing they keep that momentum in midfield, the pressing against Milan in certain areas, and just stopping that run from Rebic coming in off the line. I think you certainly feel that his side can create more chances in this second half.
So cards played to this point. It'll be Milan to get us back underway. Scored at least twice in their last 5 Serie A games. Can they add another here? 2 points a game as well in 2020. Milan, it's been a great improvement. They've now scored in 14 Serie A games in a row as well after that first half goal. We normally rely on them for that. Çalhanoğlu up against Koulibaly. Salamakers. It's a good bright start, and this is Zlatan Ibrahimovic trying to work some magic, and through it goes to Ospina. Very bright opening though, Adam.
I mean, to start that well, Milan, in terms of just trying to get Ibrahimovic into the game slightly more in that final third.
Along inevitably with Jack Bonaventura. Super Pippo will be back in Serie A next season to join his brother after bringing Benevento up most impressively. There's a real defensive force as well. Kessie. By the way, the last time Milan won here was in October 2010 when Gattuso and Ibrahimovic both started. Ibrahimovic got the winner. Just emphasises his remarkable longevity.
I think Gattuso certainly have to be aware of second halves for Milan since they've come back from this break in terms of the 4 against Juventus and maybe 3 against Lecce as well, and certainly are more of a second half side now.
Here they come trying to offer it from a little defensive slip, but Maksimovic came across and did well there. Here's Di Lorenzo. I think both sides are just settling down at the start of this second half. Napoli often take a while to get going. Must need to click into that rhythm. Here's Hernandez. A little bit of pressure there on Donnarumma. That's one area of his game he certainly had to work on, his footwork. Still got a way to go. Benacer. Now Rebic. Çalhanoğlu. Salamakers was waiting. Conti with a good touch, and he's still going. Now stop his hand, though.
Oh, certainly better momentum from Milan in this second half. They started the second half with a lot more of a purpose in terms of trying to press and move the ball quickly, where Napoli have just been a little bit slow from the standard that they had set themselves in that first half in terms of the movement and the passing quality.
Still yet to score for Milan, Andrea Conti. Used to get himself into lots of positive attacking positions. A decent goal-scoring record, but not yet with Milan. Having said that, tonight is a night for goal-scoring fullback, so who knows? Here's Salamakers. Now Ibrahimovic. Rebic. Hernandez now in a little bit of space. Definitely look more positive at the start of this second half, Milan. They're on the back foot a lot in the first half. Trying to control it more here. Salamakers. Feathered forward for Fabian. Zielinski stepped over it, and then Callahan rather got underneath it. They made a mess of a very promising position there.
It's only the first real opportunity that Napoli got themselves into a decent area in that final third. Callahan just getting that chance there, leaning back slightly, and no real conviction with the left-footed shot. But this was the good start that Milan possessed with a shot there from Ibrahimovic.
Incredible power that Ibrahimovic got there with such a short backlift. Does he do things that even you as an ex-pro look at and slightly wonder at?
The goals that he scored at Paris Saint-Germain as well, even the goals in MLS that he scored. Remember a goal, I think it was his 500th goal that he scored against Toronto. It's almost like a backheel kick, which was just unbelievable athleticism, but it just shows the dedication that what you have at his age at 38 to keep training hard, to work on your strength and conditioning. But that's the one thing he's always relied on, is his power in particular, and he'll certainly need that now at the later stages of his career. He's one of my favourite players to commentate on. I just love everything about him because he's just so unpredictable.
Voice there of Adam Virgo, centre half and occasional centre forward. Unpredictable in a different way. It's Insigne. The tactical battle and storyline that sits underneath so many Serie A games becomes even more fascinating when you can hear both coaches in close attention to their teams, and you can hear the orders and almost hear the chess pieces being moved. Gives you a really fascinating insight. Of course, it's not football as we know it, whichever country you're watching it, but there's a different kind of joy you can take from it, certainly. So rare to ever see football of this quality and intensity. Hear every word from the sideline. People say, one thing I've heard as a dismissive criticism is it's like a training game. Well, it's not, is it? Because the intensity is so fierce. Referee unimpressed there with Hernandez, by the way. And drifted forward by Fabian for Callahan, who's done well to get there.
This is what Milan are unhappy about. Just the obstruction there from Di Lorenzo there on Hernandez. Felt they maybe should have got a foul from that one there, but the referee played the advantage. Callahan done really, really well from that diagonal ball over the top and managed to win his side a corner now.
Mario Rui to wrap his foot around it. Donnarumma came with a positive punch. Gattuso gave his team the day off on Thursday. They were expecting to train and he sort of sprung it on them. Wanted to keep them fresh. They're still full of ideas and intent here. Of course, we know from the other night to beware Milan in the final half hour of games. Just ask some of the big names they've been taking recently. So Napoli will be fully aware of that. Now Kessie. Zielinski. There's the deep-lying Ibrahimovic. Lovely turn from Rebic, but well read defensively by Mertens. Looking more threatening now, Milan. There's Salamakers. Zielinski.
Well, he certainly works hard, Rebic, doesn't he, when selfishness in terms of his running. That maybe cost him maybe a few more goals with his runs that he tends to make more often than not, but just feel Napoli's possession in the ball in the second half has nowhere been good enough to get their attacking players into good areas.
There's real force there by Insigne. Salamakers. Lobotka does a great job to mop that up. Now Rebic. Callahan. Space now again for Callahan. Pulls it back for Mertens, who finds a way. Dries Mertens for Napoli again. And they've come from behind to lead at San Paolo.
Well, goals seem to be going against the run of play in this game so far. I think Milan have been excellent in this second half in terms of the way that they've possessed the ball well and created chances, but this is what really happens. They move the ball quickly, nicely. Mertens on the edge of it. Just watch his movement. just gets in front of Benacer there. For the good that Donnarumma's done this evening, I think he'd be disappointed there to be beaten with that power shot and his near post area. But it's just a movement from Mertens. Does take a slight deflection going through, but good reaction there from Gattuso's side.
Jack Bonaventura is on. 5 in 15 against Napoli, and Rafael Leao on as well. 3 in his last 4. So good, strong reinforcements. Zlatan has made way. Again, positive from Pioli. He previously scored 1 goal against Milan, Dries Mertens, in 13 appearances in one of his bogey teams, but that's a massive moment here. I think the deflection off Romagnoli did maybe just wrong foot Donnarumma a little bit. But the optics of it certainly aren't great for the big goalkeeper. It's one of those that looks like a mistake. Great pace, Mertens again, trying to stretch Romagnoli. Goal number 125 now for Napoli, for the little Belgian, who has been adopted by this city. I'm sure as regular viewers, readers about Serie A will know, they call him Ciro. Here's Fabian. There's Mertens again for Fabian, for Insigne nearly. Oh, they're starting to turn on the style here, Adam.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're just almost gone from 3rd to 5th gear now, all of a sudden.
There's Hernandez. Rafael Leao. Benacer. There's Insigne. Salamanca's now Kessie. Milan have come straight back at Napoli here. Rafael Leao. Oh, great hit from him. That was travelling. There's too much height on it.
Well, he certainly has been an impact sub for Pioli since we've come back from this break, and similar substitutions that he made against Juventus in terms of Leao coming on for Salamanca's and Bonaventura coming on for Ibrahimovic the game before. Cianonoli this time was the player that came off, and this was the goal that's now separated the difference. Just movement in the box all the time, doesn't get the best connection on it, but hit the target, you always give yourself a chance.
See that little gesture that he gave there. Callejon did it against Roma, and Mertens did it in midweek, the chin-up gesture. Keep your head up, keep fighting, keep going. It's obviously become a joke between them as well now.
It does take a deflection, but the ball doesn't really change direction too much.
Not perfect yet. And then who is change for Napoli? Diego Demet and Eli Felmas on for Fabian and Stanislav Lobotka. Certainly useful players to be able to bring on with 25 minutes remaining. Many expected Demi to come back in from the start here, having missed a midweek game through suspension. Lobotka kept his place. Yeah. Oh, kind of a handball there against Mario Rui. Pioli was berating the assistant. But here's Callahan. Look at the run that Zielinski's made. Might yet open up here for Mertens. Came off him last, I think.
Certainly the right call there. 50-50 challenge there with Conti. Just feel little gaps opening up now in that final third for Napoli that they're trying to capitalise on.
Kessie. Yeah, the next goal feels like the one, doesn't it? It could come on the counter as Milan push, but if Milan could get it, still very much game on. Poor touch from Rebic for once. Got it back though. And that will go behind for a rather cheap corner.
Oh, certainly one of those areas you just can't give any initiative for the side that actually started the second half pretty well. Just dropped back a little bit now.
Bonaventura to take the corner then. And the header from Rafael Leao, but there was a foul in there, a bit of pushing and pulling.
The referee was in a good position there. That was Romagnoli, the original foul that was given for the captain there. That's Demi, the substitute that's just come on.
Something approaching a forearm smash, wasn't it? I think fairly clear foul. And then another one, challenged by Kessie that time. We head into the final quarter of the game here. Still anyone's. Milan led through Hernandez, but then Di Lorenzo in the first half and Dries Mertens in the second. Being the difference makers here for Gennaro Gattuso. There's Elmas, now Mertens. There's that defensive play that Pioli spoke about in relation to Hernandez. Bonaventura. Awkwardly away, and this is Ante Rebic. Were to stay like this, it would by no means knock Milan out of that race for fifth, but it would be a big boost for the home side ahead of their trip to Bologna and then a home game against Udinese. Here's Insigne. Salamakers. Bonaventura. Final 20 at the San Paolo. Here goes Bonaventura. Might fall for Rebic. Good block, Koulibaly. Bonaventura goes over, penalty! Once again, Jack Bonaventura makes the difference against Napoli. They're furious, the Napoli players. They think he took a dive.
Oh, it's a good first touch there. I mean, there isn't the best contact, is there, in terms of the defending-wise. Doesn't get a lot of the ball. And for me, that is the right decision. That is a penalty. Clumsy challenge there.
Maksimovic with it. They are talking. Rocky is the VAR. What a chance for Milan to draw level. Kessie might have a long wait here. Still they complain, still the conversation continues. Big moment this. The battle for the European places in Serie A and the battle for 5th place. Maksimovic continues to argue, and all the while Frank Kessie has to stand and wait. It is ridiculous that he has to work this hard, the referee, to clear that penalty area. Super cool. Frank Kessie draws Milan level. And now Pioli's side might just feel they could go on and win this.
Well, it goes back to the theme again. Goals against the run of play. Not prolific from open play, Kessie, but it's a decent penalty take-up. Very, very calm in his approach. I mean, the Napoli players are still unhappy about the decision, but I can't have any complaints about that. Calm penalty there from the midfielder into that bottom corner. It gets Milan back into this game.
Third of the season for Kessie. Gattuso is going to respond by bringing on Arik Milik for Dries Mertens. Must be seeing Lozano, surely, their super sub. I think that was him getting ready. Well, Milik seems certain to leave. Yeah, Lozano is going to make his way on. Long face belonging to Aurelio De Laurentiis. Insigne makes way. Be no late winner from him this week. Lozano scored a couple of goals as a substitute. He was frozen out of training by Gattuso, didn't like his attitude, and he's responded well. Because the club record signing has not been a success to this point. Hirving Lozano. There's Kessie. Well, that's an awful clearance. And Milik with the touch. And it might just fall for Elmas, and Milik was there again. Milan got away with one there. Milik wins the free kick. And the yellow card for Hernandez.
Wow, I mean, that's very high. That's the penalty contention that Napoli are unhappy about, but the more you see it, you can just see him clip the left leg there. It's 100% a penalty in my opinion. Doesn't play the ball. It's a calm penalty there from the midfielder. Gets his side back into the game.
I'm surprised that Rocky isn't taking a bit longer here. Maybe asking the referee to take another look at that challenge. It's played in with real venom. Lozano had a swing and a miss. Here's Rafael Leao. Now Salamakers. And no challenges can look worse in slow motion on a replay, but Hernandez is lucky. Rafael Leao. Eli Felmas, from North Macedonia, he has scored for Napoli. Thought he'd scored again in midweek against Genoa, but disallowed on VAR. Now Mario Rui. Cynically caught there by Conti.
There's a couple of challenges now from Milan fullbacks that weren't themselves in the book, but going back to Hernandez's challenge there on Milik, I thought that looked something similar where he just maybe caught him on the top of the ankle, but certainly caught him a lot higher there as his penalty shown again. It was a cool penalty as well. And when he does take them, he does tend to score.
Well, they're time to take on some water. And a warm old day in the south, just under 30 degrees. Still even around this time of night. See the referee and the officiating team taking water on. And the way this game has gone, it's been a real curiosity, this, Adam. As you say, goals against the run of play. I think 3 of them against the run of play. It was Napoli's equaliser in the first half, wasn't. So it's hard to predict which way it's going to go.
I think it goes down to the way that I thought Napoli were excellent in that first half in terms of their movement and the way that they passed the ball and picked up little pockets of spaces 25-30 yards from goal and went central and went the ball out wide that caused Milan a lot of problems. I don't think Milan have been at the races this evening, but their confidence of what they're showing at the moment, they're just staying in the game with this grit and determination, which I think sometimes has been missing from a Milan side in recent years.
Callejon to take the free kick. Now that Insigne has made way. Leap there by Kier. Lozano. It's going to ricochet behind for another Napoli corner. It's good pressure this from the home team.
Certainly the game is right in the balance at the moment. I certainly feel the creativity side of Napoli is certainly there to see, but the grit and determination for Milan is another side of this coin that maybe could turn the game in their favour and pick up another big win against the side.
Well, Mario Rui, Callejon over this. These could be a key 10 minutes or so. Looking for a flick on there was Elmas now. They're arguing there was a foul at the near post. Di Lorenzo is leading the claim.
It certainly always happen if the team feels they've been unfairly given a penalty against them. They'll do all they can to try and get into the referee's face to try and get one back.
La Pena and Rocky uninterested. So they go again. And from Mario Rui, it was awkward there from Donnarumma. Koulibaly couldn't quite control the finish. Demet. Koulibaly. There's Eric Milik. Mario Rui. Good turn there from Eli Felmas, and up-stepped Romagnoli. Now Rafael Leao. Strong running Rebic, still going, and Bonaventura was nearly on the end of that. Good kick there from Koulibaly for Lozano. Here's Hernandez. Here, Gattuso there was screaming instructions at Hirving Lozano. Now Benacer. Here's Kessie. Carrying another change here. Gattuso. Milan, this long period of possession, not quite to Atalanta levels, but still. And finally it bounces off Conte and behind. Enter Matteo Politano. Exit Callejon. Captaincy goes to Kalidou Koulibaly.
Guarda il cielo, guarda il cielo.
Maksimovic. Touch there from Lozano, and then the chase forward by Politano. Both sides definitely going for the win here, Adam.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're trying to find those areas in that final third in terms of the movement. I mean, you can tell that there is a little bit of tiredness in terms of the quality of pass and just that bit of quality on the ball.
Here's Mario Rui. Just waiting for that return from Milik that wasn't quite there. There's that sense of resignation about the future of Eric Milik. There's a poor challenge from Salamakers. It's a little late from the young Belgian.
Yeah, certainly no complaints there again. It's just another just high challenges now coming in from these players in this heat, and the succession of the games that they had, trying to use the squad rotation as much as possible, both managers.
Koulibaly. And Mario Rui. Are we going to have yet more late drama here? Lozano, one of the men most likely, but straight into the arms of Donnarumma. I think they're both aware that a draw rather plays into Roma's hands, that they're risking losing a point to try and win 3. They're doing as much as their bodies will let them. The schedule has been brutal. Midweek and weekend relentlessly. Here's Kessie. Lozano maybe trying to do it on his own here. Blocked by Romagnoli. Here's Salamakers. Salamakers with the challenge from behind. Referee is going to show him the yellow card. And the young Belgian, Alexis Salamakers, is sent off, and Milan will have to finish with 10 here. Half-time substitute, and he won't see the game out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been booked a couple of minutes ago. He's just trying to go for a ball that wasn't quite there. I must admit, just certainly takes the challenge there and rolls around there, almost gets the yellow card into a red card for the young substitute that came on and has made a difference since coming on in this game so far, but all of a sudden now he's left a massive problem now for his side to see this one out.
Well, no surprise that he's made a change. Krunic for Rebic. Defensive legs in there as Mario Rui lines up the free kick. Milan look to hang on here. Politano. Well, took a slight deflection, but doesn't matter as it falls into the hands of Donnarumma. Certainly could have done without the Napoli players trying to get Salamakers sent off after that challenge, but he did show his inexperience on a yellow to even make that tackle. The first yellow, you know, he got the ball, but his studs were showing. And I think with a bit more experience and age, I don't think he makes that second challenge. Maksimovic. Napoli will fling everything forward now. Here's Koulibaly. Elif Elmas. Options in the middle, starting to believe they could snatch a late win here, Napoli. Mario Rui. Into Demet. Oh, he's got the free kick. Late decision there by the referee.
Again, not too much there from Milan to come back and make that challenge, but just enough for just to go off there and win his side a free kick in a really crucial area now.
Great athletic shot there of Gennaro Gattuso. Now Milik, the one standing over it. Slightly surprised that Mario Rui has moved away, given the power in that left foot. But we've seen Milik from this kind of position before. Seen him go under the wall and score. He scored 1 in 11. Doesn't his Serie A goal-scoring record need a boost here? And doesn't his team need a boost as well? Into added time we go, and it's Milik to blaze it way over. And that is a hugely disappointing attempt.
Yeah, disappointing there from Milik. You can tell Donnarumma's positioning in the central of the goal there, because he wasn't too sure the option to go left and right of that. There's been another fighting performance from his side in terms of keeping with it. Not necessarily their best one so far, but picking up another point and just trying to climb that table into those European places.
Oh, a miss hit there from Donnarumma. He's got to get rid of that out of his game. It's the technical thing. It's almost like a golfer who tops it. Catches the wrong part of the ball. Came back off Politano and went behind for a goal kick.
It was an area we talked about Hernandez, wasn't it, in terms of his prowess going forward with his assists and goals and taking his goal really well tonight. It's just those areas in those one-on-one defensive side that people do question him. As we mentioned before, if he can sort those ones out and become a better defender, then all of a sudden he becomes a completely different fullback and a more all-round fullback.
Here's Demet. Di Lorenzo. Koulibaly for Zielinski. And Bonaventura. Move towards the final 2 minutes here. Milan seeing it out with 10 men after Alexis Salamakers was sent off late on.
Well, certainly game management now for Pioli's side in terms of just those little free kicks there. Just take your time and draw yourself into a foul.
Heading for the final 90 seconds. Here's Hernandez. Koulibaly. Arrowed forward. Zielinski had made the run. Ball had too much on it. Explaining where they've gone right and wrong on the night, and doubtless being right about it too. And right now it looks as if Milan are going to survive, or better. Here's Leao. And he's won the free kick, and that will just about do it for Pioli's team.
Well, that's the game management I was just talking about there from Milan. Not too much one in that, but you just take your time, you go down and see the game out.
Famous Milan face watching on, although he's talked about his future and not being sure about it with the potential arrival of Ralf Rangnick. This will be it. For the final act of the game, 10 against 11 doesn't really matter. Benacer took it short. Conti wasn't aware of it. So a bit of farce to end what was a terrific game. What a wasted opportunity at the end. There is the final whistle. Hernandez gave Milan the lead against the run of play 20 minutes in. Then Di Lorenzo earned Napoli a deserved equaliser 10 minutes before half-time. And in the second half, 2 goals really both against the run of play as De Laurentiis makes his way from his seat. Mertens made it 2-1 Napoli, and then Kessie from the penalty spot after Bonaventura had been fouled. Better not ignore your coach. Yeah, Mario Rui makes his way off, and it finishes after Salamakers was sent off and Milan held on. Napoli 2, Milan 2.